So lesson 18, we're going to go into 15-minute segments from here onward, tracking market progress, finding potential trade setups, highlighting more of an intraday perspective and bias. So what I'm going to do now is just going to start with GBP AUD. So GA last week, if you can see, we actually fulfilled the higher band over here, given from the body of this candle after the wick high. The reason, by the way, if I haven't mentioned beforehand, that I didn't use the entire body, because remember, this is the entire body push before the decline, is because this is just way too large. So I've compromised with what I've seen, and I've also compromised with where we spiked into 1.9050 over here, and I've looked at the previous price action and the reversal formations. Excuse me. So with that being said, what happened here on GA, and I've removed some of the smaller areas, the 4-hour levels, the purple areas, because it's not really it's not really given that GA is going to tumble more or less in a day or two. If it does start to decline, I may come back in and apply these areas once more, but I wanted to clean the chart up a little bit for the video. Now, from the lower band, you can see that market really respected 1.8550, as you can see right there. And we also had 1, 2, 3 candles which were firmly placed and firmly closed in this area. The fourth candle, i.e. this bullish candle over here, brought the price action back up and above 1.8600 and the actual band itself. As you can see here, we had a test into it, we had market consolidate and push back to the upside, corrective wave, and then we had this impulsive wave that, boom, made the new low. So we have drive 1, drive 2, and drive 3. Market came back up, close, we had the shooting star closure, and then we had the gap to the upside. Market respected 1.8650, as you can see right there. And then from that area, this is where the liquidity comes in. Boom. From 8650, we rally into 1.8800. And we have this band over here, as you can see, boom, bringing that across. So let's just have a deeper look at what happened here with the price action and so on and so forth. We have the spikes into the high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a push into the high. We retest this area of support, 1, 2, and 3. And then price blasts its way up to and through the weekly resistance right here. And then we respect the 4-hourly region, and then we continue to push higher and higher and higher and higher to be magnetized into, look at the accuracy. So remember, this was placed on a while ago, and you can see this from some of the earlier videos. But look at the accuracy as we went from the lower end, okay, then we were pushed into the mid region, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, retest of that. Then we pushed into the higher region, and price perfectly reacted to that zone, 1.9, okay. And also we tapped into what I've done. I've placed a small horizontal ray at the top of that peak spike right there, and the market actually pushed into that too. So if I can really zoom in. And what I'm more or less waiting for now is that we had a small gap higher, and the market doesn't really know what to do yet. There's two things that we can break through this area totally, maybe retest it and go higher, or we can tap into 1.9 again, remain below this high, and then start to roll over in itself. What's it going to be? I think from, okay, let's open up the intraday chart now. So I'll put all of my timings on for the next 2 days. But what I'm looking at is, number 1, we have Asia high as we pushed up. I've took the band of the Asia high, then the Asia low, okay, secondary low, because this is the Asia low. Asia secondary low was formed. It held up pace, and London opens, and we break through Asia high, test 1, test 2, and then we rally into the higher band, which is the 4-hourly. Remember, this is why we always have to merge the 4-hourly levels and the bands with our intraday perspective to see and also obtain the highest risk reward potentials. Now, after we did so, okay, this is the PA, mini lower high, flail around, The US session, the Asian session here, we have the Asian lows, we have the Asian highs. And even still, actually, now I've spotted that Asian high, I can just bring this across. So that is the Asian high. If I zoom in. Okay, so Asia opens, that's the high there. That high was then respected by London 1. Okay, London makes its low. US, we have the overlap, pushes into the high but doesn't breach it. Then the US closes relatively lower. We have the gap to the upside, and look where we are now on GBP AUD. We've had a few tests into the previous area, and now what I'm more or less waiting for on the 15-minute time frame is a breach and break. This area needs to be broken. As you can see, we tested it once. This is an intraday low here, intraday area support. So what can happen now is we could get one more tap. Remember here, 8 AM, we do have the London session start. So with that being said, what could happen here is we can consolidate and London could maybe drag this down. Idea number 2 is that we could push into the higher band and we could then decline. It's quite straightforward what I'm waiting for, but what we need to see is if we can extend this over as well. We do need a clear break of this area because we could tap into that again, start to consolidate and maybe break higher. So that is what I am searching for on GBP AUD at the moment. In terms of targets, I am looking for this area to be tapped back into, and if we do get good momentum to the downside, which I'm looking for, on the 4-hourly, I will then monitor the 4-hourly to see if we're getting decent momentum, decent closures, maybe even a daily, and a risk-reward setup could potentially look something like so. If we had the break here, stops above the last high, a few pips, 1 to 4, okay, so if I'd even just put the target right there, 20 pip stop for a 73 pip target on a 15-minute time frame. As I say, this target can be extended if we do see momentum continue to chase the downside. So let's see how this one performs. It'll be interesting to see before London open. Now BTC, I had a mad BTC call, $150. Band over here on the monthly. We have the band over here as well. We spiked in 1, 2, 3, and look how we're back below. Test 1, test 2. Just need this area to break, but I do believe that we're in for a huge crash on BTC. Thought I'd throw that in there. Now gold. Let's have a look at the higher time frame on gold. It's quite straightforward. Okay, so daily gold. Actually, these are 4-hour areas. So let me go into the 4-hourly first. Now this collapse which occurred over here, we broke this area, was tested, then we broke it, so on and so forth. If you move over to the left, I searched for areas of clean cut support or resistance, if you will, which could help me identify if this is a bottom on gold. So what I've done, I've looked at the previous volume spikes. I'm taking the high right there. Then I've gone over. There's a band here on that small body of the candle, which I brought over, which is now being respected too. But I also chose this area, and if you can see from those 2 areas which I chose, gold, we tanked into the lower realms, the lower levels, and more or less what we did is the bodies remained above. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes below, respectfully on the 5th, and then we pushed back to the upside and we're now back above this band. So all I've done is I've just extended that area, and you can see that on previous videos where and why I plotted it in further detail. And now what I'm more or less looking for is gold to push to the upside. I've drawn on this 4-hourly and this 4-hourly just as critical levels, and then if we come into the daily, simply put, we're back. So here, okay, cool, test. We're back above this area. As you can see, we spiked through, we brought price back above, tested once, and now I'm looking for a rollover. Boom, testing to here and rolling over up into the upside. So going back into that time frame. Okay, so now sorry, let's go into the 15-minute time frame on gold. I've more or less copied and pasted this area across. And on the 15-minute, we have the, what low is this? Sorry, that should be, okay, so this is the Asian low. Asian low, London then respects the Asian low, pushes price back to the upside. And I've kept this on because this is the low of the week, or one of the lows of the week. But this is a prominent area in which gold could now be pushed into. Because if you look at the gold PA at the moment, we had the high, so I've taken the highs over here. We had the high formed right there. And then Asia has respected the high, respected a high. Markets pushed itself back to the downside and then come into this lower realm. Drive 1, drive 2, could this be drive 3? It all depends on if gold wants to now pick up pace and start to trade back above this area. This area is last Friday's US low, as you can see right there. US low was formed on the hour, respected again, and then respected again with this tweezer bottom formation, bullish engulfing, pushing the price back into the higher realms. So that's what I'm looking for on gold. Either a test into this region, I'll be careful, and then if we just simply break back above, we have London opening very, very soon. London could push gold back to the upside, because remember, my bias is long on gold. If we go into the 30-minute time frame, interesting, because we do have the bearish engulfing that's brought the price back down. We've filled 1 to 3 wicks there, but now what I'm looking for, again, the PA just needs to show me what it needs to do. There's 50 seconds left on this candle. We could just dump into the next region and then rebound. So I'm going to see how that trigger performs. Monday morning, we're in for a lot of fake moves. Sunday evening, Monday morning, but I thought I'll get this video out there to see. Again, choppy consolidation, a lot of messy PA here. It's not the easiest thing in the world to stick a bias to or even trade right now. It's not really clear. What is clearer though is the GA for me, to be honest, because I know it's now at a critical level, and I also know, coupled from last week's huge momentum boost, that we do have various areas of 4-hourly right above us as well. So there's various confluences that can just allow GBP AUD to solidify this level as a key area of supply, and then start to roll over. So a little bit more patience is needed in this case. I just want to show you one more thing before I lock this video off. So the importance, again, GJ, I'll be dropping in and out of GJ at the moment. The market condition on GJ, it's not something that I don't really want to put into my archive and worry about, simply because it's distracting me from gold and GA. Educational purposes though, we can clearly see that this band, which I placed on the 4-hour, respected again once, and we also respected the high over here, respected, boom, boom, and then today we're respecting it again. So we're in a critical area. It's a critical junction in which GJ can topple. What I want to look for in this case is the price to close back below this area. For now, it could easily spike into the upside. Can you see this band here, which it's more or less replica? It's a replica of GBP AUD. Small doji candle before the drop. It could come into that, and it also lines up with 141. Downside even, this band still remains solid. Test, didn't really get the test over here. Choppy consolidation has respected the 4-hourly. I've just tried to keep it clean. I've cleaned up this chart a little bit, but at the moment, yeah, there's not too much I can say about this apart from we could come into this band and then fall, or fall directly from here, because if you see closely, market has been pushed up, initial, secondary, and this is the third potential test of that region. So yeah, I would love to see GJ roll back to the downside, and at one point it is going to break this consolidation region. If we zoom out onto the chart, look at this. My bet is to the downside, to be honest, but we also have our levels to be focused on, and if it does roll around, we just extend these. It really needs to show us some PA around here. Worst case scenario on this pair, we could come into 140, 150, then decline, but you guys know, and you can see what's all set up there. and then we can come into the, I'm not going to go into the intraday on this one. I just wanted to focus on the gold and the GA. So at the moment, gold, as you can see, a new candle has just opened on the 15-minute time frame. So what we need to see is once we're breathing back above this area, we could then test into it and then shoot back to the upside. So again, I'm keeping these videos 15 minutes or so. It's easier to digest the information. And I'm just going to run now a running line, so to speak, of potential trade setups, how I would approach these markets in these different conditions, and you guys can, you know, pick up bite-sized chunks and apply it to your own charts. Thank you.